Yeah, I forgot, guys, that we had the DreamHack overlay to use. So, dear people from DreamHack, if you watch this, look at me right now. I'm changing this so we don't forget. DreamHack open high top version 1.2. I just forgot to put it on after that last game. My bad. So we're gonna have to cast this one out with GameHeart. I don't think I've got any complaints about that personally, but oops, my mistake. However, that being said, this is DreamHack Open 2014 is DreamHack Winter. It's the culmination of everything this year. It's the final tournament. It's like the finals of the finals. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, we got the wonderful Zerg player. We've got to see a lot of him recently on Base Trade TV. It's the red Zerg player, Startail Life.
In the bottom position, the blue Zerg player, it's Leenock.
Got to see a bit of Leenock recently, too. I held a show match with him not too long ago versus Major. Of course, he tried to compete for the 32 Boys 1 Cup tournament. He had a really sick series versus Solar that had Broodlords, of course, and other things. He made it to our group stage, even. We've got to see a lot of Leenock in very recent days. And if there's one thing we've learned, is his ZVZ is actually pretty darn good.
Well, we've got to see Life in past days, and we have to learn that he is pretty darn good.
Yeah, he took out Hyun in our finals of the big one, the very first big tournament we ever threw. Through various things like the MSI Beta qualifiers, IEMs. I mean, Life is a guy who has results versus Leenock. I think that much can be said without question. But I don't think that should take away from the fact that this is a ZVZ, and again, like, I know the favorite here to win is Life, and I'm personally going to put my money on Leenock just because I've seen him do some crazy things in the past. Once a god, you know, the Leenock-topus and all that.
Yeah, he was like a Cthulhu, that type of god, like octopus and everything.
I actually, know what Leenock looks like in real life. Like, I'm picturing him dressed up as that now. Let's do that. Can we get the Photoshop, please? Anybody?
I'm surprised no one actually made that joke. I guess no one really ever called Leenock a god, right? It was always a Leenock-topus. It was, you know, Flash as the god nickname. So.
Fair enough, but like the I guess, I don't know, the Indian culture, I believe in multiple gods. So there you go.
Yeah, you're polytheistic. Vocab
Wow.
word history.
It's like more than 3 syllables. Watch out!
Wow,
You just alienated our stream.
on fire.
Okay, so as far as DVZ goes, like, let's be honest, guys. There's about 3 major ways this tends to go every single time. And for this entire best of 3, we're going to be looking for it. Either Roach versus Roach, early circling aggression with Banelings and the wonderful mix, or Mutalisks. Mutalisks have actually been coming back into fashion just because they transitioned to the late game a little bit better with what is potential Broodlords, but as far as merry-go-round goes, I mean, honestly, no one's really made anything to indicate that they're going to be cutting drones soon. Life did come off of gas entirely, so I mean, this... he's got 100 gas he's waiting to spend on speed because he wants to know what Leenock has. This scout, these 2 lings, this is a big deal. If he recognizes that he needs gas, if he needs speed, he'll put it down. If he says, oh wait, this is something where he's gone gasless, he'll put that gas towards roaches or something. So Leenock trying to shut down the scout, almost blocks it with the drone, still denies it with the queen, not bad.
You know, Leenock is getting speed in a Baneling nest, and
yeah, Baneling nest even in the main. Life's not going to see that.
Yeah, Life is not going for that speed. Like, he is going to wait as long as possible. He's going to get maybe one more. Well, one queen's about to pop out, but I was thinking one more after this. Just to help with the defense. But Leenock scouts everything. He sees the spawning pool moving, but, you know, Life could cancel that. And he does.
Goes for the layer, yeah. Ooh. Interesting move. Goes back to mining gas as well. So I guess, I mean, okay, there's some really dynamic things that can happen here. Is Life going to lose because he hasn't gone for circling speed? Not at all. There's a lot of situations where we'll see late game lings and they'll have no speed, and it's weird as hell to watch, but sometimes it's the cannon fodder you need. Instead, he decides to put a wall down here with that creep spreading out to be able to put a 3rd Evo chamber if he needs to. Choke this off, and lings and banelings shouldn't end his life. But keep in mind, Leenock, despite going for that baneling nest, hasn't really invested too heavily into this. Looking more towards Lair himself, we will probably just see roaches versus roaches.
It's looking that way. Aspire was a possibility for Leenock. I mean, technically it still is. I don't know, but Life obviously very much so going for those roaches. And also a faster 3rd base. Now, Leenock is the one with the speed, so that means that he will have an opportunity to just, like, make 20 lings and attack with her, and usually get at least 1 cancel guaranteed. But that's only if he even, like, you know, does dedicate it to it. He might throw down his own 3rd base.
Well, game of thirds coming out here. Leenock's actually going to Aspire, not Roaches behind this. Kind of an interesting choice. I guess this will complement the fact that he did get Lings, or invest into them a little bit here, but I don't know, Zombie Rob, like, I feel the right players know how to deal with mutas. They're not an issue. Sometimes they'll snowball, though, and get out of hand very quickly.
Leenock is a player that would go for, like, the mass mutalist style, which is not the one we most commonly see, right? It's the one, like, they get 8 to 10, and then they transition over into Roaches, no big deal. But sometimes we see them go from Muta, Ling, Bling as a composition into the late game, even. This is a kind of a nice pickoff. Happens to catch the one that has full energy.
Oh, well, gets a scout in the main. That's really nice. Gonna confirm, hey, my opponent's actually got Roaches, not at all mutas. I could probably get away with a little bit of this, but at the same time, like, you can't really, like, you can't hold this off with just mutas. The damage they deal is not enough. It's not like a Banshee, right? Like, you're not gonna clear up enough of the Roaches with just the first 8-10 mutas, so 4 spines coming down, 5 is actually typically what we tend to see, but with a couple of Lings out to help hold the line, I think this should do till the mutas are out. Still though, this is gonna hurt.
It looks like a pretty perfect defense. Now, of course, yeah, life just goes and he either saw the third or he figured it was gonna be there. He's gonna get it.
Leenock dumping across the map though, or diving across the map, hoping to get his opponents. They're not going to happen though. A couple of Roaches chasing and a couple of Roaches here for defense. Not nearly enough Lings to tear this down. So pulls a big Yui. Goes to that main once again. Gonna look for a couple of drone kills. Maybe a queen is all he can hope for. Not quite gonna get a queen.
Yeah. So besides, you know, attacking, getting that third, forcing out spine crawlers, there's also, you know, big time sink for those mutas, and they would have been attacking the overlords anyways. So if, you know, a little bit of an, you could say it was an over dedication of spore crawlers with 4 on the way, but really, like, 1 at each mineral line, 1 protecting maybe any outlying tech buildings, and 1 right in the middle of the natural and the third is like the best defense you'll ever have until you have more queens, hydras, or infestors.
Well, the mutalisks are just going ham here on the Roaches. Sadly, they can't shoot back up. They're not Ravagers like Legacy of the Void, so there's not even potential here for damage. But the 5 queens should work out nicely. Good buddy of ours here, based on TV Namshar, is actually one of the adamant players who tends to go very queen heavy versus lots of mutas, at least until you get hydras out in. We've seen that they can fend off low amounts of mutas, no problem. You know, until this hits about 20, it's a little too hard to deal with. But with some Banelings here in the front line, a couple Zerglings as well, this mix of this cocktail for Leenock is quite deadly.
He is going. I totally called it in the beginning. Hey, look at that. More mutas on the way. The upgrades as well. I don't know if that was on purpose, splitting into the hatchery like that, but.
That splits the damage out nonetheless. Transfuses though out of life are fantastic. You know, so a little bit of damage goes down, but I mean the queens all live. The hatchery's still standing. I mean,
yeah, kind of trying to do some micro.
Throws away like 4 mutas and doesn't kill the queen. That transfuse at the last second, so slick. And life now with a ton of Roaches, and Leenock just, even if he goes mass mutas like this, there's a couple infestors coming out. If there's that 1 magic fungal, that's game. I mean, Leenock has put himself in a very hard to deal with spot.
I don't know about the attack from life. Kind of cool that he tried to get it to the main, Leenock didn't block it off with the Lings, but I just don't think it's gonna do enough damage. And it's like, there's no point in, like, there's not like, oh, I need to buy time either. You're actually pretty good on the defense back.
Well, whoa! He really did. I was gonna say he doesn't like that he went for mutas. I guess a small misclick.
Bad Leenock, bad.
Yeah, get the spray bottle up. I think a lot of this just comes down to, like, regardless of what Leenock's done composition-wise, though, like that third being knocked down. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you go Roaches, Lings, mutas, or all the above. Like, if you don't have that third base to work with too early, it really hurts. And don't forget, life did manage to knock that. Like, it wasn't a cancel. He straight up killed that hatchery earlier, so that really did set Leenock off.
What is the invitation for Leenock? He's getting Banling speed as well.
Yeah, Banelings for Banelings, I guess. Maybe worried about Hydralisks. Either way, like, infestation is never gonna be a bad idea. Fungal growth, just they've got so much use in this game. Whether it's catching a couple stray units, forcing them to be prey for the mutalists, trapping, harassing. I mean, I don't dislike the choice, but what I do like out of Leenock is this this hive tech on the way. So
yeah,
transition to brood lords.
Should have seen that one coming. It is Leenock, and that makes sense. And should fit for the hive. So now it's all about Leenock buying time for him. And, you know, that's actually pretty possible. Life, not quite ready to explode up to 200 supply yet. I don't think he's going to be attacking until he is up to 200 supply. This is so risky.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe it would not be a direct attack, but suddenly this becomes one when there's about 100 infested Terrans. But I think this is a trap. Like, this is a fungal growth trap. Oh, the mutas don't see this is no overseer. Why would they? Yeah, she lets them fly over it.
Okay,
oh, surprise! Okay, one more fungal. That's going to catch about 5 of the mutas. That's okay. But Leenock, you know, despite reinvesting here into the mutas, this isn't like the core of his army anymore. The idea is that if he can get away with it, he's definitely looking to go towards Broodlords. There's no other reason to have Hive Tech up for this.
Oh, but life is so close to being maxed out. Yeah. He's thinking about moving out as well.
I mean, that's what Leenock has to do now with the mutas. Like, everything is about buying time. Now, he's actually not putting Corruptors up, so maybe this is going to be directly for Broodlords. Or maybe he just doesn't want to reveal it. Either way, nothing happening outside of mass mutas. The thing is, like, this many lings out, the Baneling's going to work out so well if they dodge those fungals. But Leenock knows there's going to be fungals out, right? So this isn't going to be as simple as running Banelings into the infestors. Look at that sick catch there! This one Baneling can't kill those drones.
That was pretty good. Leenock has started to aspire. Just want to pump out some Corruptors soon and hide them somewhere, of course.
Yeah, you can't reveal this. It's very easy to counter Broodlords. If you see it coming, you throw it on your Inspire, bam, you're on Corruptors. Good job. But yeah, this is gonna be really hard. This is the slowest push you ever did see, guys. HLisks do not actually have muscular augments, I believe. No, so moving slowly with these queens off the creep, but soon to be on his opponent's creep. Hella spine crawlers, hella banelings though. Only way I can describe this. Get some decent connects to start this. Still more Zerglings into banelings, but the problem is, like, all the gas he spends on banelings, he's not gonna have available for Broodlords. But I think he's gonna hold. Ninja Base was taking 2 out of Leenock. We never really talked about that. That was kind of cool to see.
He also killed Life's 4th with his lings, so, you know, he is making this work. He's starting to... Oh, he's not pushing back. He's just forcing Life to retreat.
I think he's already pushed enough back. What's left won't be able to deal with a small amount of banelings here, much less all these spines. That fungal does really nice. Catches a good chunk of the banelings. It will take 2 fungals to execute them, but... the Hydras go down.
That hurt. That hurt a lot.
This is looking better and better for Leenock. You know, his 3rd base, okay, it's screwed, but again, he's got a secret base that's kind of gone unseen. 3 Broodlords are on the way, and it doesn't take much. Only a couple.
They still need some type of defense on the ground, otherwise the Hydras will just be like Steam Marines and run under them, however slowly they will. So right now that defense is mostly spine crawlers. Hopefully soon Leenock will be able to, you know, invest maybe into even just lings, like anything really to stop the Hydras from just running underneath the Broodlords.
Oh, the fungal growth goes down, but that energy might be better spent here on infested Terrans. He needs something else that's going to shoot up. The Banelings, though, you can still make a lot of Banelings to protect these Broodlords, and I kind of think that might be the best course of action, but still, Burrow has been revealed on several different occasions. He needs to get an overseer here in the front lines. Right, there we go, one is on the way.
Yeah. So those queens, they're not going to be so useful anymore. They're always useful against, you know, most things actually. I mean, they were good against mutas. They can soak up a couple of baneling hits, but they are going to die now. They weren't going to help out too much against Broodlords.
In fact, it almost hurts leaving them, because they will help build up a Broodling army. But we talked about what could be underneath to defend the Broodlords. Spine crawlers advancing forward. Life has no idea about this hidden base. Like, when do you ever take a hidden base on ZVZ? This never happens. Especially on a 3-player. Like, maybe Alter Zeme you get away with this, right? But, yeah, Life not thinking about this at all. He's got to be, at some point, he's going to click like, hey, man, I've denied your 3rd so much this game. How do you have the money to make any of this?
Yeah. Leenock wasn't really mining minerals off that base for a long time. Mostly just gas, but now he has started to,
Ooh, you know what's going to be a problem?
He scouted it. Oh, man.
Well, that aside, fungal growth doesn't affect Broodlords, of course. There's 12 Corruptors on the way, and Leenock actually didn't keep any Corruptors himself. So,
yeah.
I don't know if he'll be able to defend these Broodlords so well. But that was a great fight in the middle of the map for Life.
He has mutas, but yeah, with the infestors and the hydras and the queens, they're not going to be...
Yeah, their short range is going to make it so hard to dive on top of the Corruptors and take them out. Plus, he has to constantly bounce back and forth to this upper right base to defend it now. Does kind of suck. Investing some spines up here might not be too bad of an idea. Again, though, for Leenock, he doesn't really have a bank to work with. It's Life who's got that bank. Corruptors are going to find the Broodlords unguarded. Oh, no! Transfuse is going to go down, but yeah, he's going to see it real quick. And for Leenock, he had a window where he had this really sick composition, but that seems to have already expired.
Yeah. What was really important was that Life was never really forced to play Leenock's game. If he hadn't attacked when he attacked, Leenock might have forced Life into having that really awkward, like, Corrupt versus Corrupt or Broodlord, like when it was versus Solar, but Life